It is very hard to follow such an act. I'm neither a lord, nor a rabbi, nor a stand-up comedian. Good evening, my name is Rene-Pierre Azria. I am a proud member of the AJC's Executive Council, and I am also the president of AJC France, one of the 4 officers which we have in Europe. Good evening, bonsoir. Indulge me for one moment and remember this city 10 years ago, Washington, 2004. Iraq was a defining issue. Relations between some European countries and the United States were at a low point, and freedom fries, rather than French fries, were the talk of the town. Being both French and American, it was a particularly painful time for me, personally, and it was as well for AJC as an institution. 10 years ago, at a time of deep division and distrust between the United States and Europe, AJC decided that we had to play our part in bridging the Gulf, in that case, the Atlantic. And the result was AJC's quote-unquote embassy in Brussels, which we call the Transatlantic Institute. Today, 10 years later, the EU is a critical player on the issues that top AJC's agenda, in particular, from taking a leading role in the nuclear negotiations with Iran and in serving as the largest donor to the Palestinian Authority. And the Transatlantic Institute is here, day in and day out, to engage European institutions, diplomats, and members of the European Parliament. As mentioned in the video we just saw, the Transatlantic Institute was made possible by the vision and generosity of one extraordinary couple, Rhoda Baruch and her late husband, Dr. Jordan Baruch. The family support is continued today by their children, Bobby, Marjorie, and Larry. Rhoda and her family are here with us tonight, and I would ask them to please stand now and be recognized. Rhoda, on behalf of a very grateful agency, thank you. I would also like to thank and acknowledge my friend, AJC's honorary president and the new chair of the Transatlantic Institute, Bob Ellman. Thank you, Bob, and thank you to the Baruch family. Against the backdrop of 2 bloody wars on European soil in the 20th century alone, the European Union began first and foremost as a way to prevent another war by Germany against France. Its founding father was the French Foreign Minister, Robert Schuman, who asked and tasked his key aide, Jean Monnet, with finding the magic formula for peace. That formula turned out to be coal and steel, which formed the basis of European economic integration and grew through stages into what you just saw on the screen. Our next speaker, French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius, is a most worthy successor to legendary French diplomats like Robert Schuman and Jean Monnet, who preceded him. France today plays a major role in virtually every major foreign policy issue facing the world, and is also home to Europe's largest Jewish community, about 600,000 people. We are honored to have with us a large French delegation from the French Jewish community at this year's Global Forum, including Roger Kuckerman, who is the president of, I will translate, the Representative Council of the French Jewish Institutions. CRIF is a much faster way to say it. We also have with us Simon Rodin-Benzaken, who is the AJC Paris director. Whether the issue is Iran, the so-called Arab Spring, or European revitalization, the world wants to know what France thinks. Indeed, They then look to our next speaker. Foreign Minister Fabius has played an instrumental role, a courageous role, in the negotiations between Iran and the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council plus Germany, the 5+1. He has been a friend of the United States, a friend of Israel, a friend of the Jewish people, not just as foreign minister since 2012, but throughout his distinguished career, including when he became France's prime minister from 1984 to 1986. He was at the time, I think he still is, France's youngest prime minister of the last 50 years. AJC has long enjoyed our frequent and thoughtful dialogue with Foreign Minister Fabius, and we're delighted to host him here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius.